Hi everybody, welcome. It is October 30th, one day before Halloween. Happy Halloween. For all of you guys tomorrow in particular, my husband has the candy ready for us to give out, so we're all set to go. I am just back yesterday from the Dyeing2Stitch Retreat in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I was so grateful to get to go. So today I am going to give you a few updates on my stitching and some happy mail and things like that, but I'm not going to tell you about the retreat other than what stitching I've been doing because I have a treat for you. My friend Donna, I went to the retreat with Donna and Mary and April, and my friend Donna lives the closest to me, and she's going to come over on Friday, and together the two of us are going to tell you all about our retreat this past weekend. So I don't want to steal any of that information away. I think it'll be fun for us to share it with you together. And from what you've said, you really like seeing Donna with me on the channel, and I love having her here. So we're going to postpone most of the information about the retreat until Friday when she can get over here and film with me. So in the meantime, we got plenty to talk about. Let's talk about right before I left for retreat. I'm talking the night before I left for retreat. I had been busy stitching up a project for my sister Stephanie, and I had been prepping it for retreat stitching. I had been outlining main focus pieces in the project so I could take it with me and just do fill-in stitches at the retreat. And then as it so happened, I was talking with my sister over the phone and on our weekly call, and she had a work call that came through that she had to take, and so I just picked up my stitching, which was her project laying on the desk here, and I started stitching on it while I waited for her to finish her business call. And it just got me in the mood to finish it, and I didn't want to just stop halfway through and take it with me. So I wound up finishing it Tuesday before we left on Wednesday. So Stephanie, if you'll look away, I want to share with everybody what I stitched for you, and I'll be gifting it to you later, maybe next year, because I stitched it in thoughts of her birthday. But she has one of these. And so this is a Lindy Stitches pattern. It's the first one of hers I've ever completed, and I think it's precious. I added some back stitching in this area here and here just to help for you to be able to see those areas a little bit better because the background is kind of busy right there. But I added a little back stitching here too, but those were just my embellishments of it. And I left off a couple of border pieces that I just didn't feel like it needed. I like it just the way it is. I think it looks more natural, so that's what I did. So I'm thinking of turning this into maybe a flat fold or something that my sister can enjoy. Okay, sister, you can look back now. So I finished that Tuesday night. We left for the retreat on Wednesday, so Wednesday was travel day. There was some stitching that night, but I'm going to wait and share that with you with Donna because I also stitched on it some the next, well no, mostly just that night, but since it was at retreat, I'll wait and share that with her. So the next thing I'll tell you about is that I had a start and finish at the retreat. And since Donna and I are going to talk Friday, I would normally save it till then, but I'm going to post it in my Stitch from Stash, and so it's going to be out there already. So I'm going to go ahead and share it with you. But you may recall I mentioned that I have my husband's, my son's, and Coco's birthday all in August, and I wanted to do something fun because there were so many birthdays in August. I decided to do enough smalls to decorate my mantle in my living room for birthdays. And I have been collecting now some birthday pieces. Some of you have made recommendations and sent me pictures of things, and I appreciate that very much. And this was one of the first ones I came across. This is a Lizzy Kate. It's called Birthday Blessings. And so I had this in my birthday bag. I took it with me because I was hoping to get to stitch on something at the retreat on one of these birthday pieces because I'd like to keep them a surprise. So I don't want my husband to accidentally walk in while I'm stitching on something that's birthday, because then he'll say, "Oh, whose birthday's that for?" You know. And I don't want to tell him a tale, so I just don't want him to see it. I was wonderfully pleased that we got enough time to stitch for me to start and finish my birthday blessings. So I did it on just a scrap of 32 count Lugana that I had in my stash. And there it is. I think it's really cute. It's got blue and pink colors in it because Coco's a girl and the other two are guys. But I think it's a lovely little sentiment there. And I did leave off names because there are two lines. There's a line for a name and a date, like the month and the day. And I have 3 names to put down there, but the alphabet does not include, doesn't include capital letters. And I'm just real old-fashioned, and I like names to have capital letters. So I didn't like that. So I didn't want to put lowercase names all the way across. I just didn't think it'd look good to me. So I left them off. So there you go. There's my start and finish that I completed while at retreat. And so now you know what I was stitching on. Whenever we say we were stitching, you'll know I was stitching on this, because other than the first thing on the first night, this is what I stitched on the entire weekend. But I did get it done, and I'm very happy that I did. So now I will file this under my Stitch from Stash because I need it after shopping this weekend. And so I need to file that one for this month. So that's all the stitching I'm going to share with you tonight, because I'm going to save what little bit of other stitching I did at retreat for Friday. And so now what I want to share with you are Stitchy Kindness. So I am in a bingo group with the North Alabama Stitchers group, with a small section of them that were at our table, mostly at our table at the retreat. And we do a bingo board every month, and it's very similar to what Carolyn Zook does for her bingo games, Bringo and ABC-Go. You have your bingo board of 25 and you do 100 stitches a day, unless you set a different goal. I think most of us are doing 100 stitches a day. But anyway, I have my new bingo board all ready to go for next month. But from last month's bingo board, I have to share this with you. I got the cutest card from one of the ladies that runs the bingo group, and it says, "Witching You." When you open it up, it says, "A Haunting Halloween." Isn't that cute? And so it sounds to me like the comment in here is that most people got something for the month of Halloween that participated in the bingo game, whether they got a bingo or not. And so we got some Halloween colored DMC. Isn't that beautiful? I got tickled because my husband recognized the name on the return address, and he could feel that it was puffy in the envelope because this was in there. And he was so excited for me to open this. When I got home, he stood right there watching. It was so cute. So Carla, thank you. Thank you for that so much. It's so cute. Now here's my bingo board for November. That's the pattern that we're working. You have to get all of those in a row in order to call your bingo. And for the last 2 months, I have rearranged all my numbers on the bingo board to make it more interesting and, you know, make it really truly random. And this month I went back to 1 through 25 because I hadn't done that one in a while. So that's how mine is set up now, and I've posted my bingo board, so it's out there, it's ready to go. I don't recall mentioning what Whip Go numbers translated to on my charts, because quite frankly I had mislaid my Whip Go board pages. They were in one of my project bags where I had gathered up my pattern and put it away, and I figured that's what I did, and I finally was able to get home tonight and actually look in each one till I found it. So the two numbers that were called for November were 3 and 8, and my 3 on my seasonal board is North Pole Express, which is a new start for me. And the number 8 that was called was Nativity. So I'll be working on those two next month. And then for my general Whip Go board, I had Pandemic as number 3. And a new start in my Sew Together series. I have 2 left to do, and it turns out that one was called for November. And that means the last one will be in December. And the other number that'll be December is 12, which is, for me, Jingle Jolly Joy, which is a new start, and it's Christmas. So that worked out really well for me. But in the month of November, I should work on Pandemic, start the new Sew Together, work on Nativity, and start North Pole Express. So I have 2 whips and 2 new starts in November. So that's good. Now let's talk about a little more stitchy kindness. When I went to the retreat in Alabama with the North Alabama Stitchers back in July, I met a lady there named Brenda Greer, and she had made a project bag as our swag bag for everybody there. And it turns out that she makes project bags, notions bags, grime guards, and needle minders. And her business is Brenda's Monders and more. And she does something a little different that I really like. She posts a picture of what she has, and you can order from her. And then when she's gotten new fabric, or she's got fabric she wants to work with, she posts pictures of the fabric on her page, on her Brenda's Monders and More page, and you can message her. So I saw fabric I fell in love with, and I messaged her and said, do you still have enough to make a project bag? And she said yes. So I got the project bag ordered, and when I got my project bag, when I got home, it arrived while I was at retreat. I had a beautiful bag that I had that she had made out of the fabric I selected, and then she put in a lovely little gift. So here's the bag that I purchased. I want to show you this fabric because that looks like cocoa. Absolutely looks like cocoa. And she's on here several times, on the front and on the back. She's on here a lot, which I love. I don't know if Brenda fussy cut it to put her on there as much as she could, but I will tell you I love it. I absolutely adore it. And the inside is just a lovely light fabric with gold stars on it, because you know Coco's a star. And so that's my bag. But with my bag that I purchased, my friend Brenda sent me something else. She saw this and thought I had to have it, and I agree with her. I have to have it. Isn't that precious? That looks just like Coco. It just looks so much like her. So this will be going on my tree this year. Thank you, Brenda. I tell you what, you're so kind. So very, very kind. So one more stitchy kindness. I've been very blessed this month. I had a viewer of one of my videos contact me recently asking about the name of a fabric. She had seen my 13th colony, my By the Bake piece that I'm working on, the trilogy that I'm doing is one, and fell in love with the fabric. And she had ordered the pattern and wanted to order that same fabric and put hers on that fabric. Well, if you've watched that before, you may have heard me say that that fabric was dyed for me by my friend Marissa. So it's not a fabric that she can buy anywhere. But I understood that she really, really wanted to put it on that piece of fabric because that's what she saw that made her fall in love with the pattern. And so I went into my fabric stash just to see what I had left of it. And I had just enough for her to stitch her by the bay on it. So I contacted her, made arrangements to get it to her. And I don't know how you guys feel, but you know, if I've been gifted something and I'm able to share it, that makes me very happy. But I'm certainly not going to charge anybody for it because it was a gift to me. Anyway, I wouldn't let her pay me for it. And she wanted to do something for me, and she was very bad. She just misbehaved very badly, and she went to 1-2-3 Stitch and gave me a gift certificate. So you didn't have to do that, but thank you. You're so very kind. Anyway, I went to 1-2-3 Stitch, and I picked up something I have been looking at for a while. I have a beautiful frame that I got at the resale shop that is a substantial frame, and it needs a substantial piece to go in it to stand up to this frame. And it's got an opening of a square that's about 8 by 8, and the rest is frame. It's beautiful. Well, I saw this pattern, Rosy Rhapsody by Rosewood Manor, and I feel like this portion right here is perfect. It is so beautifully symmetrical. It's striking, and I think the way that it's designed, the curly cue, just the flourish of it, will make this frame really stand out. The frame and the piece will really complement each other. You notice this is a substantial frame around here. It's got lots of intricate, you know, filigree looking carvings on it. It's a huge frame. And that's kind of why I guess I felt this would go so well in my frame, because it stands up really well to this one. But I only need this part. And the reason I didn't buy it before now is this part alone isn't perfect in its fit. It's a little, maybe a little too small. Maybe it doesn't fill it up quite enough. Then I realized there's this little border right here. And if I have to, I can put that all the way around. So I'll be doing some calculations and measurements and things, but this is what I'm hoping to stitch to go in that frame at some point. Maybe not today, but at some point. So that's what I wound up getting with my gift certificate. I got a couple of overdyed flosses that I was short on, so that I could, you know, use all the gift certificate. And I just really, really thank you. But that's what you gifted to me. Thanks. So that's it for tonight. I have a Zoom here in just a little while that I've got to get prepared for and figure out what I'm going to stitch. I just, on the way home from our retreat, Donna and I, as we were driving back, after we got back at Mary's house, we got unloaded everything out of her car and put it in Donna's, and we came the rest of the way to my house, and Donna dropped me off here. And on that hour-long ride we talked about a pop-up challenge in the Daily 30 group, and it's a Halloween pop-up challenge, and so we talked about how we could meet it, and you know, what did we have that would meet the challenge, and I think we've got it all planned out. So I'll be working on that tonight and all day tomorrow, trying to hit as many of them as I can. So that's my plans. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. I can't wait to share mine with you when Donna gets here on Friday. And in the meantime, happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Happy Halloween. It is Halloween today, and we have given out candy. So I've come up here to tell you a little bit about what I've been accomplishing today. I decided to buckle down and try to finish that Halloween challenge today, the Halloween pop-up in my Daily 30 group. And in that group, I was having to come up with a phobia for 5 different prompts. You had to create or think of a phobia that would match one of your pieces that you had stitched. And so I used my Wally the Walrus that I had worked on this weekend for a fear of isolation, because he's the only one in the ornament all by himself in the middle of the water. And then I had used my Hawk Run Hollow. I worked on it a little bit, enough to meet the prompt. And it is this square that has a ship sailing on the lake, but it's got kites flying and birds flying. And I used it for fear of flying. And then that was all yesterday. And then today, I really buckled down and worked hard. And I used my By the Bay, which I'm going to show you now. I did some more work on it. I got the two houses in there completely. And together, that was enough for my 200 stitches. And this one was for a fear of heights. And I said, because of the heights on the ship's masts and the heights on the trees and the heights on those rooftops for those houses, that was fear of heights. And then I just finished the last two while I was giving out candy. I finished the last one, but then I pulled out Halloween Quaker for fear of spiders, because, you know, I just did this big spider motif there. So what I decided to work on were all the little things around it. So this one was here, but I stitched this motif, this little motif, this motif, and this bird. And that was just enough. I think it was like 207 stitches or something for the prompt that was needed for that one. Oh, so let me show you. Here's the Halloween Quaker now. I just came down below and picked up those little things across there to get those stitches in there. And then the last one I did was for the fear of growing old and dying, and I picked up my birthday blessings, because I stitched it during the challenge, but I hadn't used it for one yet. And I felt like it would fit for that, because birthdays are how we mark the passing of our years, of our age, and as we get older. So that's what I did with that one. So I got all 5 prompts plus the bonus stitched up. So there you go. I've got it filed, and I'm hoping that they'll be, you know, that they'll agree with all the things that I said they went with, and we'll go from there. But I've done a lot of stitching this weekend trying to hit this challenge, and it's been fun to do that. And so now I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to go downstairs and have dinner with my husband. We waited till after the trick-or-treaters were all gone before we tried to do dinner. And he actually ran out to get us Chick-fil-A, because I didn't have time to cook and all that while I was giving out candy. And so we're going to do that now and watch a little TV together. Tomorrow, I get to go stitching with my friend Juliana, and I'm looking forward to it. And I can't wait to see her and catch up with everything that's been happening with her. I think her niece got married while I was gone. Her mother had surgery while I was gone. So we have a lot to catch up on. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you have a great, great evening of stitching, a great day tomorrow, and I hope to have something to share with you when I get back. Happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. It is November 1st. We're in a new month. I'm so excited. Well, today I got to go visit my friend Juliana and her mom, and they asked me to bring with me my planning tools. And as it so happened, the last cross sticks were posted today on the 1st. So I went ahead and I took my little notebook and my ledger with me, and I showed Juliana and her mom how I do my planning for the acrostics. Basically, I've shared this with you before in bits and pieces or in a whole, but I try to use my same whips more than once, like in different acrostics, so that when I stitch on it one time, I'm actually stitching on it for more than one thing. And I call that double dipping or triple dipping or something like that. And in one of my silly ways of trying to organize myself and stay, put as far as stay focused, I put, once I finish everything, I put my acrostics on this ledger, what each one is representing, the letters down the side. And then I put all of my whips that I'm using for the acrostics across the top so that I can mark them for each time I'm using them. And what you'll see real quickly is when there's using a whip more than once. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 2. And then I told Juliana what I try to do, like right here, if I can, I try to start with the ones that hit it at least 3, and then I move to those that hit 2. Well, there's a new wrinkle to this whole plan, and that is my bingo game that I play with my Alabama Stitchers, because I use the same whips in bingo. So one of the things that I try to do now is also when bingo is letter is called for the next day, or number is called for the next day, I look at it, and if possible, I will pull that one out to do it, and I'll stitch the 100 stitches I need for my bingo, and then I look to see what else I'm using that one for on the rest of my acrostics. So today, for instance, the number that was called was 16, and on my bingo board for 16 was my latest new start. And since I just started it yesterday, my latest new start is North Pole Express. So I pulled that one out this morning to do my 100 stitches on it, and I pulled out my board after I made it, and I looked it up. Up here is North Pole Express on the end, and I was using it 3 different times. One of which is in my daily 30 group, that is the one that requires 300 stitches. So that told me I had to stitch at least 300 stitches in my North Pole Express today in order to hit that prompt. I only needed 100 for bingo, so as soon as I hit 100, I took a picture and posted it. And then I just kept stitching, and I was able to hit 300 today. And so when I hit 300, I went ahead and I posted in all 3 acrostics, starting and ending pictures and the number of stitches that I did. And then I happened to think about it, and North Pole Express was my new start yesterday because it was on Whip Go. And I stitched on it for 2 hours yesterday, and yes, that was a day ahead, but I needed it for something else. And so I went ahead and started it yesterday, and you can see where I put 2 hours in it. And then today, when I did my 300 stitches, I did a little over 300 stitches, I hit the 5-hour mark for the 2 days combined. So now I have completed that, got me another bingo for my Whip Go. So one of my 3 that I had to work on for this month, because I had already done one, is complete. So let me show you what I did. 304 stitches in this. So when I started this, I did the North Pole Express and the little greenery, but it didn't have the little berries in it. I added that today. And then I came over today and I started with the candy cane and the bird, and then I did this whole tree and bird, and then I came over into this little heart and that little snow. And then when I came up here and put the berries in, I hit 304 stitches. So I'm kind of working my way across this way, and I'm thoroughly enjoying this little freebie. This is a freebie from Little House Needleworks, and I'm not sure if it's, 2014 is when it was issued. And so I've had it since 2014 in my stash. Hadn't worked on it, and you know, just had it sitting around, and it was in my Christmas collection. And this year, when I did last year when I did my Whip Go board for this year, 2023, I put it in here on the Whip Go board, and it was finally called for the month of November. Isn't that neat that it was called in November and it's a Christmas piece? I love that. I really do. And the other one on that same board is Nativity. So I need to be working on Nativity this month as well, which will be great. But I have hit my Whip Go goal on this. So I have also hit my cross stitch bingo for my Alabama Stitchers group with it. And I have completed it for all the acrostics that I'm using it for. So this one may go away for the rest of the month. It may become a travel piece. In fact, it will, because Saturday we have our stitching meetup at the library. And unless I change my mind, I'll be taking this one with me to the library because I think it's an easy stitch. It's easy to read. It's easy to see. The fabric is a Lugana. It is 32 count and it is tight. I sure wish that I had known how tight it was going to be, because if I had, I would have been stitching it with one strand instead of two, because it is really tight. But now that I've gotten this much in it, I'm not going to take it back out and start over. It's a Be Stitch Me fabric, and I've never known Be Stitch Me to be quite so tight, but this one is. I'm not sure. The name of this is Frost, and as I mentioned, it was a Be Stitch Me fabric, and I just felt like that blue, icy, windy color just looked really good with the North Pole Express. So there you have it. That's my stitching for today. And I mentioned that I did my planning, and so that's been a very productive day. I hope that I have another productive day tomorrow. I get to stitch and talk with my friend Glow in the morning, and then tomorrow night I'm going to be participating in a Zoom call where we're going to talk about our acrostics. I will tell you, I have three letters in the Daily 30 acrostic, which is cornucopia, that I don't have anything identified for. I need an O, an I, and an A. And I probably could use an Autumn in the Village for A, but the Daily 30 group is the group that requires 300 stitches, and that piece is my 36 count, and I don't want to be locked into having to do a large number of stitches because I do that one in small parts. So I don't know what I'm going to do for that A yet. I could probably do a sampler for all seasons. That's what I'm going to write down. Thank you for helping me think that through. Anyway, so tomorrow night we'll be talking and sharing what we came up with and see if we can, prompt somebody's mind to think of something new. Anyway, it's a fun conversation. We try to have it once a month. And if nothing else, we kind of share with each other what we're going to be doing to meet our acrostics. And it's just a lot of fun. We enjoy doing it. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. I hope you've got great plans for tomorrow. I hope you get lots of stitching done tomorrow. And until I have something more to share with you, happy stitching. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Dina, and this is my channel about cross stitch. And today I am sharing with you some stitching that I had just completed working on acrostics. I haven't even begun working on my bingo call for today because this project has been languishing for a long time. And when I got up today, I was in the mood to stitch on it. And I had a phone call with my friend Glow, and we stitched while we talked, and I needed something I could stitch fairly easily with her, and this one was the ticket. So this is Hawk Run Hollow. It's spring at Hawk Run Hollow, and I'm starting my 4th square. And so today, these waves were here, And part of this outline was here, but that was all. So I finished the outline of the ship. I finished the body of the ship. And then I put on its flag. And then I started the wave going up here, the big one that goes over the ship. And all total, it was 372 stitches. I needed 372. I actually needed 300 for my daily 30 group. There was a need for the letter R in that acrostic. That acrostic is cornucopia. And so for the first R, I guess the only R, yes, for the only R in cornucopia, I wanted to do Hawk Run Hollow. I originally thought of Royal Games, but I've worked a lot on Royal Games since I have worked on Hawk Run Hollow. So I pulled it out. I hope you enjoyed seeing it again. And fortunately, I can triple dip it. I can use it for my 24 hours of cross stitch for the letter R in Arbitrary. It's for the second R. And then in my Magazine Monthly Challenge group, the first letter of raccoon is R, and I'm going to use it for that. I originally, again, had Royal Games 1, so I'll go in my post and change it to Hawk Run Hollow and go ahead and post my pictures. So that will meet that prompt. Now, that's the stitching I've done so far. Now, it's only about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm going to take a break because I have to write our Christmas letter, our family Christmas letter. And I've been taking notes on it, and I need to now go write it. I need to type it up and print it off to let my husband kind of proofread it for me. And I want to get that done today. And so I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go do that. And then tonight, I will be doing a Zoom call with a couple of friends, and we are going to discuss our acrostics for the month of November, what we're hoping to accomplish with them, what we're working on, and I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. And then, hopefully after that, time permitting, I will get my 100 stitches in on the call today for the bingo. And my bingo call for today is Miss Christmas Eve. So I need to get 100 stitches in her if I can today. If not, I have to do it tomorrow. I can't work on any call after that until I do that one. You have to do them in order. So I have to pull that one out as soon as possible. So I'm going to take a break now, go try to work on that newsletter, and I hope I'll be back to share with you a little bit on Miss Christmas Eve. If not, it may be tomorrow. But in the meantime, happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to get to come back tonight and share with you that I did get a little more stitching done. In my bingo group with the North Alabama Stitchers, our number for today was number 3, and for me, number 3 was Miss Christmas Eve. And I'm so glad it was, because I didn't have her for any of my acrostics this month. Well, until tonight. So, let me tell you first about the stitching, and then I'll tell you how she was turned into an acrostic this evening. But this will remind you of Miss Christmas Eve. Recently, Terry Lee Crafts finished hers for her daughter, and it was beautiful. So I'm inspired to pick mine back up and start working on it again. I'm making very slow progress on this one. I think partly because there's just a lot of confetti in the skirt, and I'm in the skirt now. I did really well all through her face, hair, bodice, arms, you know. There were nice blocks of color. And now I'm getting into the real beautiful shading and detail of this tree skirt. I mean, it's a skirt that's made out of a Christmas tree is what it looks like. So tonight I came over here. I only needed 100 stitches for my prompt in the bingo group. And I wasn't using it for a daily 30 prompt, so all I needed was 100 stitches. But I came over here and did 2 colors of red in this section and added in just 103 stitches but it was what I needed for the prompt. So I am happy with that. And that means I got to touch her this month, which is great. Don't know that I'll be able to pull her out again this month, but if I do, you know, I'll share with her. I'll share the progress with you if I get to do that. But she's not on my acrostics until tonight. We were talking. My friend Donna, Dee, and Lori were talking tonight just about acrostics and plans and what we were going to do in our November. And we're all in doing the acrostics for the magazine monthly challenge group and the 24 hours of cross stitch. But in the monthly magazine challenge group this month, we were given the option of doing a short one, which was fox, or a long one, raccoon. And I had chosen to do raccoon. So Lori challenged us tonight and said we needed to do both. So while we were talking tonight, I had to come up with what I was going to stitch for the word fox, because I hadn't planned that one. And as it turned out, for the letter O, I decided that I was going to count the ornaments in Miss Christmas Eve's skirt as my O in fox. And that way, my stitching this evening could meet that O in the word fox. And my F is going to stand for fieldstone fabric in my Halloween Quaker, because I'm going to stitch on Halloween Quaker somewhere else, so I can count it twice. And then my X is going to be for the X in my alphabet in my Let Love Rain. So I got that one done while we were on the phone as far as deciding, you know, what I was going to stitch for it. And then tonight, when I finished stitching on Miss Christmas Eve, I could actually say I had gotten the first of those letters done. So I was happy about that. So I hope you have, as I said, a great weekend of stitching. I hope you're doing great. I'm feeling a lot better. I still have a tiny residual cough from COVID, but I'm sleeping really well and I'm feeling better. I just still sound a little congested, although I feel fine. I still just sound froggy. Can't seem to shake it yet. So we'll just keep going. We'll just keep walking, you know, going along day by day. Well, I'm going to say goodnight, and I hope to talk to you again tomorrow. Happy stitching, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I have Donna with me today, and we're going to tell you about our retreat to Dyeing2Stitch in Virginia Beach, Virginia, that we went to last weekend. So, Donna, you want to show them the first thing we were given at the shop, the surprise?
So we got to the shop Friday
morning.
We were given this, what they call it, take and make little gift. In the threads and the fabric and the pattern. And
we thought there were maybe not enough thread, because Donna and April and Mary too, I think, all started theirs that night, and they stitched enough of the design that they were afraid they might run out of colors. But not to worry, they solved that for us.
yeah,
I'll
they
tell you
did
that later. So, as I said, Donna and the other two ladies I was with, April and Mary, started theirs. I haven't started mine yet, but guess what? Donna finished hers. Show your finish.
I just had the finish. It's not fully finished. It may never be fully finished. So this is what it turned out to be.
It's so cute.
Little tomatoes.
Little tomatoes. It's meant to be a pin cushion. The whole theme of the retreat was tomatoes, because as Kathy revealed at the class, she knew that Anne, one of the shop owners, loved the red tomatoes, and So she wanted to make that the whole theme of the retreat. So you'll notice that theme as we go through. So in addition to the make and take patterning kit, you had the option to purchase a finishing kit.
So the finishing kit has the hoop, the rickrack, the stuffing, and the ribbon, and you've got the wool somewhere.
Don't see that.
Well, there's wool somewhere.
There's wool somewhere. It's probably in my bag somewhere.
And then when you put it all together, you get this. And it's really cute because the little stem stands up, and then it looks like the veins of the tomato once you get the pearl cotton thread
All around it.
pulled tight. Yeah, because you're missing some.
I must be missing just the green.
Well, you're missing the back fabric.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you're
not in
missing.
my kit.
I bet you've got it
I probably have it somewhere.
because it was 2 pieces.
Oh, well, maybe it's in here then. Duh. There you go. That's the rest of it. So there's
Yeah.
there's the little wool, there's the finishing back fabric.
Yeah.
Everything else
The
you need.
board for the bottom of it. So these two things went
Together. They were tied
Yeah.
together at one time, you can see.
Yeah.
They've got separated in my bag.
Oh, is this yours or mine?
This is mine. That's just the picture
Oh.
on the front there.
Okay.
But,
And the directions are all in there, so we know how to put it together.
Yep. And it's really, really cute. She had one of them all finished up, of course, as a model to, show us, and was walking around the store. So that was fun. So what else did we get in the shop on the first day? When we got there, they gave us our name tags,
Oh.
and they gave us,
Yeah, we got our name tags.
we got our name tags, and then the next day when we showed up for the meet and greet, we got our bag.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Everybody got a little project bag. Right here. And inside the project bag was a little note. And this cool little, my stitching friend. So you can have people write their information down. So it's like an address book. But
Yeah, for
it's
your
for
retreats.
Yeah.
Attendees.
And then there was a few little other things in here, which
Were they in here? Are these there?
I don't know.
I think this was in there.
My stuff got mixed up.
So I think this was in our little project bag. It's a needle book, and it has a charm 2023 on it, and the little sign says Dyeing2Stitch Retreat, and you can see the tomato on the front, and then you can untie it, and it opens up, and there's your little needle felt on the inside. Cute little needle book. Again, the tomato theme that we were doing. So that was in the project bag with the note that Donna mentioned, had phone numbers and recommended places to eat in the area, which we took them up on that and had an Italian dinner one night. It was nice. Worked out really well.
But don't get the bread.
No, it was hard as a rock.
It was harder than croutons.
It was ready to... It was ready to be made into crouton. And y'all, it smells so good. They put it on our table and it smelled like fresh baked bread. And they had already told us, that it was baked fresh every morning. And when we got it, we said it must have been yesterday morning.
Must have been a week ago the morning.
It was funny because we all grabbed a piece and put butter on it. And oh my, what a shock.
It was good. It was good if you could chew it.
Yeah.
But the other food was really good.
Yes, everything else was good. But that was one of the first little funny moments that we had over the weekend that we can look back on now and just kind of chuckle and remember. So we went on Saturday we did the meet and
Thursday.
greet. So the meet and
Friday,
greet, we met Kathy and Bill Haberman of Hands On Design, and Kathy brought a bunch of her designs with her, patterns and things. She had a trunk show there, and then she had a lot of patterns that weren't in the shop already, that maybe they were out of, and they had restocked it. So we all had to go back in there and shop again in the Kathy patterns. That was really good. And then Saturday morning was the first class. They split the 120 of us up into two groups of 60, and we all had the afternoon class. So we had the morning to take a leisurely breakfast, and we stitched, and then we showed up for lunch, and everybody had lunch together. And we got to hear Lois of Lady Doc Creates. And she was our lunch speaker. And she basically told us her story, how she got started in the business, and then what she went through during COVID, and how she found new resources for her supplies. And that sounds like it's just sort of factual, but it wasn't. It was hysterical. She's really funny, and she, told it in a fun way. And then she gifted all of us a scissor fob, and I'm not sure how much of that you're going to be able to make out, but there's a crown, there's a floss bobbin and a button, there's a pair of stork scissors, there's a needle, like a thread, spool of thread with a needle going through it, and I think, yeah, there's a tomato, a little tomato shape. Anyway, I think this is precious. All the sewing, charms in there. And so I'll tell you what I'm going to do with mine. If you remember, recently I mentioned when we went on our cruise, they gave us a necklace that you just opened up, and there was an inside that was like a display area, and they were giving you little charms to put in there every day. And I'm going to see if my charms will fit in there, because if they will, it'll make a really cute necklace. And I think that's what I'm going to do. If they won't fit in there, then I'll just keep them here. But I love it. I think that's great. Everyone got one of those. So tell us about the luncheon. We met someone at the table who recognized Donna from Floss Tube and said she missed her. She wanted her to do videos again.
dig, dig, dig.
I keep telling her she needs to do that. And then we had lunch together and listened to Lois, and then we went in to our classroom. So, but at lunch is when we got our bag.
We got this bag.
Yeah. Got a little tote bag. Dyeing2Stitch. And inside that bag was a little piece of home decor. So everybody had their stack of 3 tomatoes with the little strawberry. And the fabrics were the same or similar, but they were not identical. Different ones had different patterns or whatever. But isn't that cute? I'm putting that in my sewing room. I thought that was really precious. On the table at lunch, we had this little pin cushion. Is this the Salt Keeper? Is that what that is? I don't know.
There's a name for him.
There's a name for him. Anyway, the little tiny glass jar. It has the little tomato in it. And then Lady Dot Creates later gave us these 2 tomato pins. And I put mine in my tomato. But isn't that precious? We had one of these at every plate to take with us. And then was this in our bag?
That was in our bag. This
Okay.
was in our bag.
All right, show them what all we got in the bag. So,
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
So we got some little
Gloss drops.
drops with a little pair of scissors on the end of the ring. So I didn't realize we got them, or I'd have changed mine. I just came home and just dropped everything when I got home. Then there was these little buttons, just tiny little
For finishing.
finishing, just okay. Then there was this scissor fob, and of course there was a tomato on it, and it says Stitcher. So it took somebody a long time or a lot of bees to get all these do right, because everybody said the same.
Yeah, all said Stitcher.
All the same said the same thing. And then, oh, that's the little hook.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, and then we got a little needle threader.
A little hummingbird needle threader.
Does this one light up?
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
I haven't either.
I didn't open it till we showed it.
I haven't opened mine either.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Okay, so that's all. That was our goodies.
Yes. And then we went from the luncheon into the classroom. And as I said, they broke us up into 2 groups of 60. And Kathy introduced she talked a little bit about herself, gave us her story as well. And then she gave us the history of the exclusive design that she made for us. Now, I thought the make and take was going to be the pattern. I didn't realize we had another pattern for the weekend. I've already put mine in a project bag, so I'll get it out and Dawn and I can show it to you. You want to hold that?
So this was the kit. And it's what, maybe 6 inches by 12?
Yeah.
When it was finished.
When it was finished, it was really cute.
It's not very big, but it turned out really cute.
I was going to show them. This is the linen that she gave us to do the project on. And she's marked a line, if you can see that blue line.
Right here.
That's where the fabric is going to end up on the spool. We'll show you the spool in a minute, right?
No, this part, it goes to our other little project.
Oh, we cut that off.
Yeah,
okay.
you start from here. Yeah.
Right there.
And that's where you start.
Okay, so she marked it for the start.
Yes.
And then there's another mark down here for the bottom.
Yes.
For the hem. She did that in case you were a bottom starter. You can start from here, but she recommended that we start from the mark that she told us to at the top. But she walked us through the whole process of how to start it and about the pattern. But you can tell it's a smaller, it's a narrower piece, but it's really cute. You want to read them what it says?
So it says, "Oh, tomato, you look so fine, growing on that blessed vine. Did you know your true worth was to aid my stitching work?"
It's so cute.
And she got her idea from watching her tomatoes grow.
Yeah, she's got a picture in there somewhere.
Yeah, there's somewhere there's a
and
little
you can
picture.
find it in there.
On one of these things, there's a picture.
Yeah. She said she knew that Anne loved tomatoes, and she had this poem in her head, going around in her head for a while. And she wound up putting it together in a sampler. And she laughed. She said the last time that someone asked her to create a sampler, she came up with, you had me at flamingo. She's not a sampler designer. So I thought that was kind of funny. And I like this one. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek, and it's really cute. So here's you want to hold that, show them that. That's the finishing fabric and the interfacing that you need. And she even went through an explanation to us on how to position it so that, you've got everything finished correctly. Sorry, I'm in the face with that.
She's dangerous.
That's dangerous. So this is the dowel that we will put it on. And then in another little pack that we got are the ends of the dowel. And she even gave us, this is how thoughtful Kathy is. She gave us the ends, and they have a hole in the middle so that you can screw them onto the dowel. And she even gave us black screws and silver screws. The black screws will blend in, but unfortunately they're a little bit longer and they stick out from it's not a flat finish. So she gave us the little silver ones in case we wanted it to be completely flat. In her model that she had there, she had used the silver ones.
It looked fine.
And it looked fine, yeah, it looked fine. Here's the rest of the finishing for that. And if you'll notice, these are so cute. She had the cutest cards printed. And this one is for your needles, and it actually says on the card, needles. And she told us they were size 26.
One's sharp and one's tapestry.
Yeah, you want to explain why she did that?
So the sharp needle is for the threading of when you put it together and you have to do your thread around the circle.
For your finishing.
And she gave us the thread to use. And what did she call it?
Lacing thread.
Lacing thread. And she said you could get that off of Amazon.
Yes.
And then the tapestry needle, you know, is for your cross stitching.
Right. So you got both needles right there. She gave us the ribbon to make the long bow in the bottom. And it was funny because when we opened these kits and she told us what we should have in there, I didn't have any needles. I had 2 cards with the lacing thread on it. So she asked, did everybody get what they were supposed to have? And I had to say no. And she said, oh, good, thank you. We were wondering who we messed up on. I guess they had some extras or something. And so Bill ran over and gave me the needles. And then she told me to keep the lacing thread. And I'm glad I did because we wound up using it.
Well, somebody used it.
On another surprise. Well,
I didn't do it.
You didn't do that one, but anyway. So here you go. Everything to do this project. Everything to kit it with. And here you want to show them the...
Oh, and these are the
pretty
gorgeous
threads.
colors. And these are color and cotton threads.
Yes.
And this is the first time I've used the threads, and I really liked it.
So we mentioned a while ago that when Donna and April and Mary started their make and take, they were running very, very close to running out of a couple of the colors. When Kathy started her class, the first thing she said is, some of you may be worried that you're going to run out of these 2 colors. And they're the same colors as what we have now in this whole thing. So,
and there's plenty here.
Plenty. In fact, she told us there's plenty to do. These 2 projects that you've seen and more. So Kathy had a few surprises up her sleeve. That wasn't all she gave us. So she's talking about some of the designs and her inspiration and things like that. And as we're talking, she said she just felt like that she's done a lot of pinwheels and she's been doing a lot of the rounds. And she just wanted to design this in a round. So she gave this to us.
So this was our 3rd project.
That was our 3rd project. That was a surprise.
And of course, everything's in there to finish it. And she went through and showed everybody how to do the backing.
Right, and we thought that we were doing the backing for this 3rd project. And so we started out with a disc, like this. And it has a piece of double-sided tape on it, just like that. And a piece of brown fabric and a little bit of interfacing, or batting, just batting.
Yeah, batting.
Really, really thin. And so we did a hands-on project. She taught us how to lace, to gather and lace a round object in case you never had before. And so this is the one that Donna said she didn't do in the class. She already knew how to do that. Anyway, I was practicing on mine and I did mine. And then I got thinking, that looks too big for this project. Because the circles are in there and they're just a little bit smaller. But, you know, I'm thinking, oh, that's maybe just an optical illusion. Then Kathy gets up and says, now that you've got the back done, it's a little too big for the one you already have. She just wanted to do one more thing for us. So she did. And since it's Thanksgiving, she gave us this Gather at the Table. And it's going to be a new release of hers next year. But we have it already, which was such a sweet surprise. And this is the backing for it. We've already made it. So that was pattern number 4.
That was pattern 4.
So if anyone ever says to you that she's very generous in her classes, believe it. She truly, truly is. And fun and just a real delight to talk with. She had in our bag a pen that says hands-on design in case we wanted to take notes, because she walked us through the entire pattern. And there's something very special about her pattern on our big project I forgot to mention. The pattern has 2 versions to it. She has one version for linen stitchers, and it has the verse that Donna read was in 1/1 stitching. But she knows that she has some Ada stitchers too. And she's got people that just don't like 1/1. And so she charted it a second time, and the verse is 2/2. And she rearranged just a few of the little motifs to get it to fit. So she went through and showed us, if you're going to do the 1/1, you do these pages. And if you're going to do the 2/2, you do these pages of the pattern. So that was probably one of the most considerate things I've ever heard someone do. She gave us a pair of scissors in our project bag.
She told us we didn't need to bring a thing.
Yeah, we asked. We said, what do we need to bring to class? Nothing. Not a thing. Not a thing. And we didn't. She had everything we needed there, which was...
And we got it in this cute little bag.
And we got it in this cute little bag, and it has a tomato sticker on it. It says, hands-on design, and it says, oh, tomato. That's what she called her design that she created for us. So
I think we got some little stickers too.
we did. We got a couple of more of these stickers. I have an extra one in my bag somewhere in here. And I just thought it was great. Had a great time. We got a lot of goodies.
We ate.
We ate.
We ate too much.
We ate too much.
One night, one of us ate way too much.
We all decided we would go to Cracker Barrel because it has such a good variety and we could all get what we wanted. And the minute we decided that, Donna said, oh, I want some of their fried okra. I want some fried okra. And she had that in her mind, and she wanted that fried okra. So we got to Cracker Barrel, and we ordered, and Donna ordered her fried okra. And she ate it.
2 fried okras.
She ordered 2 orders of fried okra. And later that night, she felt it.
Oh, man. Oh, I made myself sick.
She did. This was one of those times where we could just mention Cracker Barrel the next day, and she's like, no!
Yeah, they were going, let's go back to Cracker Barrel. I'm like, no, I've
can't.
had enough now.
Yeah, but that was good. We are not going to show you all the haul because we spent 2 days shopping and we got several patterns and things, but we will show you a tiny bit of it because it's significant. The first one is one, well, I was in training. Mary was training me how to shop. Our friend Mary has a knack for picking out patterns that are something you would do. She just learns what you like and your style. And so you'll be shopping along and all of a sudden this pattern is put in front of you. You need this. And when you look at it, you think, yes, I do. It's something I like. She was doing that to Donna and I the whole weekend. So then I found this pattern.
So Dina paid her back.
I paid her back. And I said, Mary, what do you think about this one? I love this heel. I love all the colors in that heel. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful piece. And she said, it is pretty. I'll do it with you. So she took a pattern and then she grabbed a third one out of the rack and she said, here, go give this to Donna and tell her she has to stitch it with us.
I didn't get asked. I just got it thrown at me.
So I channeled Mary. And I went up to Donna and said, here, you need to start this with me and Mary. And Donna goes, I do? I said, yes. So she took it.
I paid back though.
Oh, yeah. We kind of enabled each other that way.
A
Off
little
and
too
on
much.
the whole weekend, yeah. So, but this one we are thinking about starting January 1. There is a sort of a thing going on in FlossTube about your sampler blessing, that if you do a sampler on January 1st and you hopefully you try to finish it by the end of the month. This one may be a little much for me to finish in a month, but the whole point is you're supposed to stitch a sampler in that month and it brings blessing to your family. So we are thinking about starting it on the 1st of January to participate in that, even if we don't finish it. But I mentioned we were shopping, and one of the days, the second day we had been shopping, I had kind of given out, and I was sitting up front and just kind of letting the ladies enjoy their shopping. And Donna came and sat on the floor next to me. She was finished shopping, and she sat down and we were chatting. And she looked up and saw a sample on the wall. And you know how we say a sample sells? It really does, because Donna just said, that sampler's beautiful. And I looked up and I said, yes, it is. It's very pretty. And she kept looking at it, and the next thing I know, Donna's gotten up and show him your new sample you bought. She went and got it.
They didn't have the color thread I wanted, so it's on order. And it's just, I don't know, it just spoke to me.
It was really pretty.
Really pretty. And then, of course, I got a piece of R&R Espresso. And I'm telling you what, my bag smells really good.
Yeah, from the espresso.
Well, just from my fabrics that I bought. But, oh, I'm sorry. I'm making noise.
The name of this one is Quaker Seasons of Friendship. It's from Crown and Thistle. I'm not sure if you could read it or not, but what color did you order? You ordered your threads. What color did you order?
Deep sea blue.
Oh, that's going to be
It's
beautiful.
sort of like blue teal.
It's going to be so pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty.
But I thought the name was Friendship, and we were all together when we bought it, so.
And I think Donna enabled Mary to get that as well.
Oh, of course.
She went and showed it to her, and they had to get it together. And Mary got her threads, too, and I think hers was a blue.
Hers was a blue,
She went
too.
with the blue as well. So that worked out really, really nicely. We're very grateful to Mary's daughter, April, because she drove.
Oh, yeah.
It was a long trip. About 8.5 hours once we got to Mary's house. Donna came to my house, picked me up. That was about a 30-minute drive.
Right.
And then we drove an hour to get to Mary's house. And then April drove us the 8.5 hours to get to Dyeing2Stitch. So the day we came home on Sunday, we had to reverse all that. So we got out at Mary's. We didn't tarry long because we still had an hour to my house and an hour and a half to get Donna home. But I think it was worth it. I had never been to that shop. Had you been to Dyeing2Stitch before? And of course we got to meet Anne and Pat from R&R. They were super nice. And they arranged also another event for us at the hotel, a pop-up shop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they had 4 or 5 vendors there. One was a lady who made project bags, and one lady made like home decor, like the little cute tomato stack that we got. But she had wood pillows and candy canes and all kinds of things she had put together. Another lady had a very interesting display. She was gathering lace and buttons and trims off of old vintage clothing, and then she was repurposing it into needle minders and froggers and pins that you could wear on your lapel that had stitching motifs on them and things like that. They were unique and different. And the one thing that she did that I like, she used pretty pieces of jewelry, and she made needle threaders and counting pins. And I bought some that looked like she had used the same kind of jewelry, so I've kind of put them in a set. And so I thought those were really, they would make a sweet gift either for an exchange or something like that. So pick that up, and that went really well. It was at the hotel. They took over the area where you eat, and so Ann and Pat let us line up to go in, but they only let 10 people in at a time. And so as somebody came out, another person would go in. The space was smaller, and it was hard to walk around each other. And so they just said, if you'll be patient, we'll let everybody get through without having other people lean over you, reach over you, bump into you, step in front of you. So it was nice.
Run back and forth to each other.
Run back and forth to each other, you know. They really wanted you to go in a straight line, too. They wanted you to go through one vendor, then the next, then the next. And they had people in there directing traffic to make sure we went the right way. And that sounds a bit, maybe, you know, controlling or whatever. But it actually was quite coordinated. And within 1 hour, we were able to get everybody through the first time. And then those that wanted to go back through, of course, had the leisure to do that. So that was fun. That was a unique, you know, different thing as well. I will tell you the one negative that we've talked about was the stitching room.
Yeah.
It was small. It was in a hotel. It was in their biggest conference room, but it wasn't like a convention, you know, center. It was small, and it would hold, what do you think, about 50 people? Well, 50, maybe 60 at the most.
Yeah, they had at least 10 tables in there.
Yeah, so 10 tables of 6, you know. We got in there one night before it got completely full, and that was actually the night before the retreat started. That was Thursday night, and we got in and we got to stitch and talk to people and meet people and say hey to folks we knew, and that was lovely. We couldn't even sit together. Mary and April wound up sitting at one table, and Dawn and I sat right behind them, but at a different table because there was no table with 4 chairs available, and that was the only time we got in the room. The rest of the time, we'd go down there to try to get in the stitching room right after it opened, and it was packed. And people weren't allowed to leave their things in there, so they couldn't just go and camp out somewhere and leave their stuff and leave. If you left the room, you were told, take your stuff with you. Give someone else a chance to sit at the table. There were stitchers all over the lobby, all in the breakfast room.
They said we invaded the hotel.
We did. We took over the hotel. But we thought about the lobby, we checked it out, but the lighting there was really not good for stitching.
Yeah, it was dim.
It was very dim. And there really wasn't a whole lot of places in there, so most of them were taken. So we wound up going on back up to our room, and we all got into one of our rooms. We had adjoining rooms, and we stitched there simply because there was no room anywhere else. But as it turned out, it was a lovely time for the 4 of us to really just talk and visit and get to know each other. I hadn't had a chance to stitch with April but once at a stitching Saturday. So it was great fun to get to know her and make her laugh. She told Donna and I one time she wasn't quite sure how it would go. You know, she's a young girl, young 35-year-old, and we're not. And so,
well,
you know,
age-wise we're not.
Age-wise we're not. We might act that way, but she got really tickled at one point at us, and she said, I have not laughed to the point that I've cried in a long time. And she said, y'all have already made me do it 3 times in this weekend. So I thought that was a good compliment, you know, that she was having a good time. But one of those times that we made her laugh was accidental. We didn't mean for this to happen. But as we were getting ready to go to lunch, the day of the luncheon in the class, there was no safe in the room, so Donna offered to let the ladies leave purses in our room, and we would lock it up good and tight, and then that way we would feel comfortable leaving all of our personal belongings there, and we would have plenty of hands to do what we needed to do in the class and bring all of our stuff back, right? So, you want to tell them, or you want me to tell? Tell them what you did.
So they put their purses in there, and we hid them.
Yeah.
In there. And I'm like, okay, so we'll lock the door. So, adjoining rooms, right? We've got the 2 doors in between us. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to put the latch on our door. I put the sign outside.
Yeah,
so
do not disturb.
Do not disturb thing. And I put the latch on, and I deadbolted it. And we were going to go out the other room. So I walked through the room, and I pulled the door with me shut. And then as soon as the door went click, I realized what we did. I did.
We did.
And I said a few choice little words.
Which got all of our attention. The priceless thing was the look on your face when you realized what you had done.
Yeah. So, when you have adjoining rooms, the door handle is on the door which is in your side on your room. The inside doesn't have a door, so the other person can't just open their door and come into your room. Yeah, we locked ourselves totally out of the room.
Yeah, there was no handle to get back in the room.
We had a huge safe.
Yeah. A room-sized safe. So now we're getting tickled. So we're all laughing about it. And it was the most funny because of the faces. Donna's face first of her, oh my God. And then April's face when she realized why Donna looked that way. And then Mary and I caught on about the same time. And then we had a delayed reaction. So we have to go down and tell them what we've done. We can't get in our room.
We tried.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. April tried to break in. She got cards and tried to, because it wasn't locked. It was just shut, but we had no handle to open it. So she was just trying to pull the credit card in there, to push it in so we could open the door. It didn't work. So we go down in the elevator, and we're all laughing our heads off. We're really tickled. We get on the elevator, and first of all, the elevator door opens, and Donna and Mary and April just walk out. And I'm going, wait. It was not the floor we needed. It was just another floor. And they had to pull them back on the elevator. Well, then that got us tickled even more. And then on that floor, a gentleman was getting on the elevator who worked for the hotel. So he knew about the stitching retreat that was there. And we were all still laughing in the elevator when he said, may I join you? And we said, if you dare. And so he got on. And then he looks at Donna and all of us and he says, oh, I see you ladies are already in stitches. It was very funny. Donna looked up at him and she goes, oh, you had to go there. And then we all fell out laughing again. So you can imagine, it's just one of those times when you get tickled and you can't stop. Everything then is funny. So we go out of the elevator. We go into the lobby to tell them what we've done. Mary and April and Donna can't stop laughing. They just could not speak. So I had to go to the desk and tell what we had done to this gentleman. So I'm telling him that we've accidentally locked ourselves out. So he's not really paying attention to me. I'm sure he hears customers all day, blah, 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 blah. So he reaches down, takes a room card, and really quickly fixes it and hands it to me. And so I just looked up at him and I said, will this open the doors in between the 2 rooms? And he said, no. I said, then I don't need it because that's not what's happened. So once I tried to tell him, I had to pantomime it for him to get it. I had to show him what we did. We put the latch on. We locked the deadbolt. Then we pulled the door to in the middle. And then he went, oh! So he said they'd go up and take care of it. Now, that's the mystery of this whole thing, because we had to leave. We were going to be late for our lunch in our class if we didn't go. And he said we didn't need to be there, so we went on and left. So we have no idea how they got in our room. But they did, because when we got back, we used our key and went right in the room. So just let that be a lesson to you. You're not as locked up in that room as you think you are. They can get in if they need to. But thank goodness that they can. When I called home and told my husband that happened, he said, oh, that has had to happen over and over again with families with children, and they're sharing a room and the kids run back and forth. You know that door gets shut accidentally. And he said, I'm sure they have a way to get in there. And they did, you know. Donna's son was funny. She called him and told him right when it happened and asked him for help on ideas on how to get in the room.
I haven't lived it down yet.
Not yet. So when we got to lunch that day at the luncheon, Donna told Anne about it. And Anne said that is something she has never heard at any of her retreats. So we have a mark in history that we were the only ones that have locked ourselves out of the room completely. We can't get in.
We even made a video of what not to do.
Yes, and I'll include that for you. April and Donna made the video. So I'll share it with you because we did it to be fun. But I think you'll enjoy it, so we'll put that in here.
Okay. You don't do this and this, and then walk over here and shut the door.
Dina's in there, she can open it.
I wasn't taking a chance.
Because there's no handle on this side. Only on this side.
All right. Well, needless to say, we had a good time. Lots of laughter. Lots of stitching. Wonderful class. A lot of traveling.
A lot of eating.
A lot of eating. All the things you want, you know, when you go off together. So our next retreat for both of us, I think, is not till next year.
Next year.
Yeah. So that'll be our travels for now anyway. We'll are over for retreats until 2024. We'll start up again. So if you get the chance to go to a retreat, we encourage you to do it. It's great fun. Even if you're by yourself, you won't be for long. You will meet stitchers, you will connect, and you'll have a great time. I hope we meet you there. So, anything else you want to share? Did you bring anything else to show?
No.
Okay.
That was I finished something this week.
I know, that's amazing. You did it right in a few days, like
yeah,
really
I had it
quick.
done Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday night.
That was good. It was good. Oh, I will mention this since it is November already. I may have mentioned this before, but Donna and I and a couple of other of our friends, Dee and Lori, are all going to be doing a series of ornaments next year, 12, one each month.
Right.
And so they don't have to be Christmas ornaments. They can be any kind of ornament you want. But if you want to join us in that, please do, and let us know if you're going to stitch 12 ornaments next year.
We'll have to think of a hashtag.
We'll have to think of a hashtag, and we'll share it with you and let you know. Maybe 12 and 12, I don't know, something. But, and then we were Zooming earlier in the week with Dee and Lori, and there are some new starts being planned by everybody. I think Lori and I are further along in that process than others, and Lori has 40 planned, and I think at my last count it was 41, so we'll see how we do. We both do whip go, so that's part of why we know what we're going to be stitching, because we've been looking at whip go already. So I'll be sharing that with you later. But thanks for letting us tell you about our travels and our retreat. And
hope to see you all.
Hope to see you. Hope to see you soon at a retreat or next time we talk. So tell Donna you want to see her on Plus 2.
She's not going to let me stop.
I'm not going to let her stop. Even if she just comes up here and films with me for a while. That's fine too, isn't it? Hey, everybody, enjoy your stitching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
I'll be back in a few minutes just to grab it again. Excuse me. Hey, say hey. Hi.
I got some.
She's been hard a whole bunch of times. I missed her every time. Yesterday's the first time I've ever met her. I couldn't believe it. I said, oh my God, I've been wanting to meet you. How come I miss you every time? Don't come on Thursday. It's the only day I take off.
Oh, is it? Well, they entertain my husband just fine.
Oh, okay. Well, I have to work my other job on Thursday.
Oh, is that? Oh,
I work over at R&R.
for what?
I work over at R&R on Thursday.
Oh, right, great. Yeah.
So, you know, that's my other job. The money-making job.